We need to get the van up in the air so we can pull the engine, the transmission, fuel tank, and eventually all the dangly bits. This is Oni, but really this could be any project. Whether it's a Kei van, a Jeep, or a Tacoma.
Ugh. Oh, I hated that. I hated saying it, hated how it felt, hated all of it. Ew.
Or that half-finished rat rod sitting in your garage collecting dust. We're all trying to get something up in the air without ending up in the ER. Before we get the van up in the air, we need to pull the glass, and guess what? We made a tiny, itty-bitty, expensive mistake. But let's start with the cribs. We're going to use cribs, and there's two reasons why. The first, we're really cheap. Not sure if you all know this, but we are not a Kei vehicle build channel. We are an off-road adventure channel that happens to be using a Kei van. We are not making a show car, even though we hope Oni will be in a few shows. Someday, when Oni is complete, the prospect of building another vehicle doesn't even sound fun. Making epic, cool tools that we can use over and over and over on multiple builds is just not really in the cards. I like the idea of working on my own vehicle. I also like the idea of solving problems. I like the idea of doing all the work. But I really like is when it's all done. We really want to get this van done so we can enjoy it. Cribs are simple, and we can move forward as we get our quick jack setup kind of figured out. Plus, cribs are rock solid. This is all so the three of us can go on some trips, meet new and amazing people at shows, on the trails, and hopefully inspire others. If we were loaded, we'd probably buy a Toyota for $49,000, then drop another $20,000 into it to make it overlandable. Or maybe a Jeep for $46,000 and then drop again another $20,000 in it to make it into an overlanding vehicle. Or maybe we'd just spend $900,000 on an earth roamer, and to be honest, all those...
Ugh. Oh, I hated that. I hated saying it, hated how it felt, hated all of it. Ew.
Number two, the second part. Jack stands freak me out. Not because they're always unsafe, but because they're only safe until they aren't. Also, the rating on them say 2, 3, 4 tons. That's whatever it is, usually for 2 stands. Furthermore, does using furthermore make me sound like I know what I'm talking about? Anyway, every year, thousands of people trust their lives to jack stands. And every year, thousands of people end up in the ER because of them. Remember the Harbor Freight recall in 2020? 1.7 million jack stands recalled because they just would randomly fail. Not a bad batch, just they were made wrong. So let's break it down. Newton's first law. An object at rest stays at rest until you start yanking on a stuck bolt and suddenly it's not at rest anymore. Newton's second law says that force equals mass times acceleration. Your car weighs a couple of thousand pounds, split across 4 stands. And stands are only safe if you use 4. That's a few hundred pounds per stand. But if the car shifts a little, that force goes up fast. If you're under it, congratulations. You've now become a crumple zone. This is why we went with cribs. They're simple, they're sturdy, they're built like a brick. Well, like a crib. We decided to use 2x4s cut to 12 inches by 8 inches. Crisscross stacked, screwed together with 3-inch construction screws. Also, countersink those screws like your life depends on it, because it kind of does. The total cost was about $50, less than a pair of decent jack stands. And each crib holds just under 6,000 pounds. That's not a safety margin. That's like
bring a gun to a knife fight.
If we were going to make cribs for a big kid car, we'd probably do 18 inches. You know, if Shark Dare approves these, that's good enough for me. Now, about that little expensive mistake. Before we got Oni into the air, we decided to pull the glass because once the van is up in the air, getting the glass out is going to be like pulling it from a jacked up, compensating bro truck.
Sweet! What about mine? Dude, what does mine say? Sweet! What about mine? Dude, what does mine say? Sweet! What about mine? Dude, what does mine say? Sweet! What about mine? Dude!
We were worried about doing any welding work or anything next to the glass because you can't really call Safelite and go, hey,
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
do you have a windshield for a 1996 Daihatsu S130 via tray van? All you get is crickets. With glass cleaner in hand, we got everything sparkly and then attached our Sea Sucker 4.5 inch suction thingies. We started with one window that we were okay if it broke. Okay, not okay, but we felt like we could handle the disappointment. This went great. So we moved over to the other rear window. This also went great. We had now graduated to God status on window removal. What could go wrong? With an unearned level of confidence, we started in on the windshield, and it was going great also. I was tucking the rubber gasket, prying just a little here, a little there, basically a little everywhere. The window was slowly coming out. My caution was slowly being replaced with arrogance. We had this windshield by the balls if windows had balls.
What would even window balls look like?
And then, we flew too close to the sun. The second you start thinking you're a window whisperer, that's when the glass gods strike you down. Just a little too much prying and pop, it cracked. Ah, fuck! Lesson learned, less prying, more wiggling. With our hubris in check, the windows removed, we went back to the cribs. And here's why that choice matters. Jacking up at the designated jack point in the front of Oni is a little sketchy. We will have to address this in the future, based on a lot of math, understanding force, friction, and fun. If you're using 4 jack stand, there is only 174 foot-pounds before the van can slide off a jack. So if you can bench 200 pounds and you're cranking on a stuck bolt with a breaker bar and exceeding that 174 foot-pounds on one of those stands, you could literally unalive yourself without even realizing it. One crib, like I said before, can support just under 6,000 pounds. Which one would you trust with your life? It doesn't matter if you're working on a Kei van, a lifted truck, or the Craigslist project you swore would only take a weekend. Getting crushed under a car is a dumb way to go, especially when a stack of 2x4s could save your life. This whole build is about doing things differently, doing them better, and making sure we finish it in one piece.
got it all right here, right now.
Next up, we're pulling the engine or the transmission. You know, honestly, whatever comes off.